In your role as data science manager, can you talk about how Chipotle approaches machine learning? From an analytics perspective, and talk about our partnership together and how it works for you and your team.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So at Chipotle, our vision is to cultivate a better world, and so when it comes to weather-driven demand forecasts and other forecasts across our industry, we also have another value, which is that we are a restaurant company, and for us, the line where you order your food is the moment of truth, which means that you want to be able to get Chipotle where you want it, when you want it, have everything in stock, have everything available when you want to customize your bowl. And so we use a couple different demand forecasts, and maybe I'll start talking about how it was like when I joined Chipotle in 2019, and one of the first projects I was given was to do an annual planning process. And so I had just joined Chipotle. The folks who were doing demand planning had all been there for about 10 years. And so I was coming in as the new data scientist saying, I think that we can improve this. Let's go down to restaurant level forecasts, which is something that they were looking for, kind of someone with more analytics background in order to do. And then, so we started building, and we said, okay, this was pre-COVID, so all you had to do was throw a couple years of historical sales into a Python script and run a couple models against it, and you had a pretty good demand forecast. And so a few different pieces came out of that. I was also getting familiar with the sales and transactions at Chipotle, and I would come back to the team and say, okay, here are days where we are far exceeding our forecasts, and they would say, oh, this is when we do. I learned that there's a thing called National Burrito Day. It happens in April. We run a promotion on it. We also run a promotion on Halloween called Burrito. At least in college, I knew that was a thing. You put on a tinfoil hat for good, and you get a free burrito. And then we would also notice, okay, but here are days where, here are days, markets, regions that are underperforming. And, these are folks who have been doing this daily demand planning as well as their year planning, and they'd say, oh, there was a weather storm here. Oh, this 2019 or 2018 or all the way back to 2015 as I'm kind of going through this historical data. And so really I think one of the, and talking about partnerships and benefits of, back then I was having to manually go through and add flags, filters, et cetera, into our historical data in order to assess weather and volatility and all this weather-driven demand. Whereas now it's really exciting. We have this partnership with Planalytics. We're given these values at the day level and also at the channel level, and it makes my life as a data scientist and as a demand planner very easy. Not only in that I'm able to kind of understand the historical patterns so that when we are looking at, demand planning for this year, we're also able to understand the demand planning and the change over last year when we look at comp. And so it really provides this really an additional tool, an additional feature set with this weather-driven demand that really enables the business to unlock much better accuracy, much better understanding with what our sales and transactions are. And not only that, it makes it easy, not only as the analyst, but also being able to roll that up to the executive level. I only half joke that when our sales beat comp, marketing takes credit, and when our sales underperform, I get an email saying what happened with weather and what does Planalytics say the impact was yesterday. And so then we kind of go through and we say, okay, well, now that we've kind of socialized these metrics with our executive team, we say, this is, we're comping over something that was, really strong weather impact of last year or an impact from this year. So that's one example for our demand forecasting planning. And then just another quick one before handing it off is during COVID, like many of your other businesses, everything shifted to digital. So our marketing department wanted to understand the different drivers behind the digital occasion and the impact on weather. So we were using the Planalytics data and also using the raw weather data feed to understand what are kind of weather-based triggers that we could use in order to promote a new Chipotle occasion based on different triggers. Maybe it's raining, do you want delivery? Things like that, where we're trying to kind of push the capability of leveraging our customer data as well as our weather data in order to drive more occasions to Chipotle.
No, thank you for that.